Every weird and wonderful racing series explained. MX-5 Cup. The Mazda MX-5 Cup is legendary for one reason: parity. The cars are so identical that races are decided by inches. 4 wide finishes are common. The engines are sealed, the tires are spec, and the aerodynamics are non-existent, so slipstreaming is everything. With a $1.2 million prize pool, this is serious business disguised as a Miata meet. Caterham 7 Racing. In the UK, there's Caterham 7 Racing. These cars have the aerodynamics of a brick, which creates a bizarre problem. If you break away from the pack, the wind resistance slows you down, and the pack catches you. The only way to stay fast is to stay close. The result is constant overtaking every single lap. It's pure driver skill with zero room for error. Legends cars. Then there are Legends cars. These are 5/8 scale 1930s coupes powered by screaming Yamaha motorcycle engines. They're twitchy, short wheelbase monsters that race on both road courses and ovals. Watching them drift through a corner at full throttle is like watching angry cartoon cars fight for position. KWC. There's the Kart World Championship. No buying engines, no team politics, no data engineers. You show up, pay the entry fee, and race identical rental karts against the best drivers in the world. It's the purest form of motorsport. Folkrace. In Scandinavia, they have Folkrace. It's rallycross for the people. To keep costs down, there's a genius rule. After the race, anyone can buy your car for a fixed price, usually around $800. If you spend $5,000 building a cheater car, you'll lose it. It keeps the racing cheap and the drivers aggressive. 24 Hours of Lemons. The king of budget endurance is the 24 Hours of Lemons. The rules are simple. Buy a car for $500 or less and race it until it dies. If you cheat, the judges might weld a giant metal pig to your roof as a penalty. It's an endurance test of machinery and dignity. Teams show up in costumes, cars are covered in ridiculous themes, and the only thing that matters is finishing. Fun Cup. In Europe, the parody gets professional with the Fun Cup. These look like VW Beetles, but underneath, they're tube frame race cars with mid-mounted engines. The series runs the 25 Hours of Spa, literally 1 hour longer than the famous 24-hour race at the same track, just to prove a point. The grids are massive, often exceeding 50 cars, and the racing is surprisingly competitive. It's a parody that takes itself just seriously enough to be dangerous. ChampCar. ChampCar Endurance Series is the slightly more serious alternative to Lemons. If you want fewer costumes and more actual racing, this is where you go. ChampCar uses a points-based system called VPI to balance car performance. So a $2,000 BMW can compete with a $1,000 Honda Civic. The system rewards smart builds and punishes expensive ones. With over 28 events a year, it's one of the most accessible ways to get real endurance racing experience without the theatrics. Lucky Dog. Lucky Dog's Racing League keeps it even simpler. One entry fee covers the whole crew, usually around $1,200. There's no complicated point system, no tech inspections that take hours, and no arguing over whether your exhaust header is worth 10 points or 15. You show up, you race, and you go home. It's the cheapest way to get real wheel-to-wheel experience without spending your weekends arguing about rulebooks. Tractor pulling. Tractor pulling is not about speed, it's about torque. These monsters use up to 5 supercharged V8s or actual helicopter turbines to drag a 60,000-pound sled down a dirt track. The sled has a weight transfer system that makes it progressively harder to pull. The goal is distance, not time. It's arguably the loudest motorsport on the planet, and the engineering behind these machines is absurd. Some run methanol fuel, some run nitromethane, and some just bolt a jet engine to the back and call it a day. Double-decker. In 1982, British TV peaked with the double-decker bus Grand Prix. Broadcast on World of Sport, this involved retired London buses racing around a tight oval in Northampton. The track was slippery, the buses had chronic understeer, and seeing them lean at 45 degrees without tipping over is one of the scariest things you'll ever see. The drivers had to fight the steering wheel just to keep the top-heavy monsters from rolling. It was a one-off event, but it lives on as a perfect example of British motorsport insanity. Lawnmower racing. Lawnmower racing is real, and it's surprisingly serious. The blades are removed, the engines are tuned, and they hit 60 miles per hour on dirt. The British Lawn Mower Racing Association runs a 12-hour endurance race that's a legitimate test of sanity. Teams have to manage fuel, driver changes, and mechanical failures, all while racing a machine that was designed to cut grass. The fastest mowers use modified motorcycle engines and custom chassis. It's low-budget, high-skilled racing that proves you don't need a car to go fast. School Bus Figure 8. It's exactly what it sounds like. full-size buses racing through an active intersection. The drivers have to time their approach to the X perfectly, or they'll T-bone another bus at 40 miles per hour. The Indianapolis Speedrome runs the most famous event, and the prize is usually around $1,000. The buses are stripped of seats and reinforced with roll cages, but they're still 10,000-pound battering rams. The crashes are slow-motion disasters, and the fact that drivers walk away is a miracle of modern safety engineering. Figure 8. The World Figure 8 Championship at the Indianapolis Speedrome is terrifying. Drivers sprint through the X intersection without lifting. The goal is to time your approach so you miss the other cars by inches. When you get it wrong, the crashes are violent. To make it harder, they sometimes do train racing. Two cars chained together. The front driver steers, the rear driver brakes. It's a trust exercise gone wrong. If the front car turns too hard, the rear car swings out. If the rear car brakes too early, the front car gets yanked backward. Communication is everything, and failure is instant. D-Van Grand Prix. In Japan, they have the D-Van Grand Prix. Drivers take full-size American Dodge Ram vans and race them on tight circuits. These vans are heavy, tall, and have the handling characteristics of a drunk refrigerator. Watching a high-roof van drifting through a hairpin is a sight you will never forget. The body roll is extreme, the tires scream, and the fact that they don't flip over is a testament to the driver's skill and the suspension's stubbornness. Siamese. The UK takes it a step further with Siamese racing. They weld one car on top of another. The driver in the top car steers. The driver in the bottom car operates the pedals and gears. If they don't communicate, they hit the wall. The top driver can't see the road clearly, and the bottom driver can't see where they're going. It's chaos, it's hilarious, and it's proof that British motorsport will try anything once. Caravan racing. It's banger racing, but everyone is towing a camper trailer. The goal isn't just to win, the goal is to turn the caravans into splinters by the end of the race. Drivers slam into each other, rip trailers off hitches, and leave the track covered in debris. Extreme Barbie Jeep racing. This happens at off-road events like Rednecks with Paychecks. Adults squeeze into plastic power wheels and hurl themselves down steep dirt hills. The steering is non-existent, the brakes don't work, and the crashes are spectacular. Some competitors add roll cages, some add bigger motors, and some just accept their fate and aim for the biggest jump. It's not about winning, it's about surviving the hill and walking away with a good story. The fact that grown adults willingly climb into a child's toy and launch it off a cliff is proof that motorsport doesn't need logic to be entertaining. Piaggio Epi Racing. In Italy, they race Piaggio Apes, those little three-wheeled delivery trucks. But these are modified with 600cc motorcycle engines. They spend half the race on two wheels and are terrifyingly fast. The rear wheel lifts in corners, the drivers hang off the side for balance, and the crashes are both hilarious and horrifying. It's motorcycle racing disguised as a truck race, and it's one of the most entertaining series you've never heard of. Isu-1 Grand Prix. Japan also gives us the Isu-1 Grand Prix. This is endurance office chair racing. Teams of 3 race office chairs for 2 hours straight through the streets of a shopping district. It's grueling, it's intense, and the prize is usually a bag of rice. The wheels lock up, the chairs tip over, and the competitors treat it like the Indy 500. It's absurd, it's Japanese, and it's perfect. ESC. Imagine Tron in real life. The eSkootr Championship features riders in neon suits racing standing electric scooters at 60 miles per hour on city circuits. The scooters are custom built, the tracks are tight, and the racing is surprisingly competitive. It looks futuristic, it sounds silent, and it's proof that motorsport can exist without combustion engines. A 2RL. This is the successor to RoboRace. Teams don't hire drivers, they hire coders. These are driverless Super Formula cars racing wheel to wheel at speeds over 180 miles per hour. Sometimes they pull off amazing overtakes, sometimes they drive straight into a wall. It's the only sport where a software update can win a championship. The cars use AI to make split-second decisions, and the results are either brilliant or catastrophic. It's the future of racing, and it's terrifying. From $500 beaters to $1 million robots, these series prove that racing doesn't have to be serious to be spectacular. Which one of these would you actually dare to enter? Let us know in the comments below. Until the next one.